I saw some titles of articles, Red Hat is, don't quote me on any of these because it's all a blur right now, but Red Hat's changes are, disrupting the enterprise Linux ecosystem. All of the downstream Linux distributions as a result are going to be affected. They're all going to be blown away. We're all going to go away, and no, no, not at all. So again, going back to the question, how does it affect our development? It affects our development by basically we just now have to go to multiple locations to get the original source code, and or the upstream source code, and then we bring it into the build system Peridot, and everything goes exactly as it has been. So there's not much disruption to the users and to the community. A little bit more on our back end, but that's totally fine. No issue at all. That's what we're here for. From a customer perspective of CIQ, there's no issue at all. And yeah, it's it's business as usual. And there's been the one thing I have seen is there's a lot of clickbait going on right now, a lot of FUD to some extent. And yeah, I mean, this is a big deal. It sets a negative precedent in at least my mind. But for the most part, I mean, again, nothing's really changed from a project perspective or a community perspective. The ones that I see kind of mostly on the attack, and it hasn't been very nice, and I wish it was different. Are people that just work at Red Hat, and I just want to just extend a message like we're trying to help, right? And we're trying to help the community. We're working with the community. We're trying to make sure that everybody has free access to a belief that we have, which is open source is free. Open source is open, and it should always be that way. And we understand that it's not Red Hat's priority to ensure that the whole world has access to this, but to hide it behind a paywall is not really the right course of action. But you don't have to worry about it because we're here to help. We're here to help that community, and I don't mean that in a sarcastic or anything way. Like for real, like there's a lot of value in having everybody from the anybody involved with open source and enterprise Linux to just know that there is a Red Hat product out there, and they can use that, they can leverage that. But that enterprise Linux community is not bisected because we're all focusing on that same level of compatibility, and there's value to all of us by having that. So I feel as though that's a really important statement to make.